أكبر الله أكبر.
Until recently, the religion of the world's 1 billion Muslims was a mystery to most Americans. And lately, a shadow of fear and suspicion has been cast on the unfamiliar face of Islam. Despite some fundamental differences, Islam does share a common ancestry with Christianity and Judaism.
Islam looks upon itself as a continuation of the Judeo-Christian tradition. When you read the Quran, there are constant references to the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. So the Hebrew prophets, the biblical prophets and patriarchs, and Jesus and Mary are very major figures in the Quran.
Islamic artworks, like these depictions of Adam and Eve, illustrate the connections. This scene, the drowning of Pharaoh's soldiers, is straight from Exodus in the Hebrew Bible. Even the baptism of Jesus is depicted reverently in Muslim artwork. The common heritage of Jews, Christians, and Muslims also includes angels.
In Islam, belief in angels is one of the tenets, the characteristics of a believer. He believes in God, he believes in the book, and he believes in angels. So angels are not marginal, they are central.
The Quran, Islam's sacred scripture, is itself directly linked to the angel Gabriel.
Gabriel, or Jibra'il, as he's called in Arabic, is the angel of revelation, and it is Gabriel who recites the Quran to Muhammad. Remember, the Quran means Quran, in Arabic, Al-Quran, the recitation. So Gabriel plays this extremely important role as the angel who brings the Quran to Muhammad, who announces to Muhammad that he's a prophet, that he's going to be the reciter of God's message.
It is Gabriel who escorts Muhammad on what is called the night journey, an epic pilgrimage through the heavens. At every stage, angels encourage the prophet. Ultimately, Muhammad stands alone, face to face with God. For observant Muslims, the ritual of prayer is a means of ascending to God.
The daily prayers were instituted after Muhammad came back from the night journey. They said, "Did you bring anything for us from God?" He said, "Yes, I brought you these prayers. Through these prayers, you participate in the return to God." And by extension, of course, every believer has the support of all these angels when they do the prayers.
The Quran, which recognizes Jesus as a prophet, also includes the Annunciation, the moment when Gabriel announces to Mary that she will give birth to Jesus. In addition, the Quran speaks of ethereal beings called watchers that resemble guardian angels.
In the Quran, it says for every soul there is a watcher. And the watcher is understood to be an angel. There is an aspect of God, a creature of God, an angel who is there at every step, as close as our jugular vein, as the Quran says of God himself. They are a way for God to be present in our lives.
So you have traditions say things like, an angel comes down with every drop of rain. How else does rain fall from heaven if angels don't bring it down? The angels are the messengers who bring down creation as we know it.
Islam also has its forces of evil, creatures known as shayateen, or satans. As in Jewish tradition, the shayateen are adversaries of humanity, not God.
The prophets come, call us to God, go to our spiritual nature. The Satans come and says, no, you don't want to do that. You've got more important things to do yourself. Come on, get involved with yourself. See, ignore the spiritual dimension. Look at what this wonderful earth and all this food and sex and control and power. You see, so this is this tension, and the soul is wavers in between.
Most of the shayateen, those who seduce humanity from the ways of the prophets, are creatures known as jinn.
This is a Quranic concept that I think is most familiar, of course, to people from the 1001 Nights. The genie, right? Aladdin in his magic lamp, he rubs it, the genie comes out. You know, if you've seen the cartoon, I mean, that's a very good, as a matter of fact, representation of the Islamic idea of the malleability of jinn creatures. Jinn are made out of fire, which means they have an appearance, but the appearance is not fixed. The angels are made out of light, and they don't have a form.
Most notorious among the jinn, and the closest figure to the Christian-style Satan, is Iblis. But in Islam, the battle between good and evil plays out on an individual more than on a cosmic stage.
Iblis, the Satan, is understood as kind of, again, the mythic embodiment of all bad tendencies in human beings. Jealousy, envy, hatred, spite, all these sorts of things are sort of played out in the career of Iblis. He's definitely under God's control, doing the work of calling people in the wrong direction so they'll be able to discern what the right direction is.
Muslims, like Christians, envision a final judgment. However, Islam's end time is not the slugfest between good and evil set forth in the book of Revelation. In Islam, an angel named Israfil blows his horn twice, triggering the resurrection of the world.
The Quran says the earth is changed into other than the earth, and the heavens changed into other than heaven. So there's some radical transformation of the nature of heaven and earth.
During this epic transformation, the deceased from all time are brought back to life to face their final judgment. As in Christianity, angels play a role.
God and the angels come down, see? And then judgment takes place. In all of which it's God doing the judging, but the angels are involved in bringing people and, you know, as sort of the jury, as it were. But God is the judge.
One angel presents a scroll listing the person's good deeds. A second angel presents a list of bad deeds. God then makes the final call. Those deemed to be righteous are allowed into paradise, which Islam envisions as a bountiful garden. Everyone else is condemned to an eternity in hell in the company of Iblis. There is one other common thread linking the angels of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. For the most part, angels contact people only when angels themselves are darn good and ready. However, it would be only a matter of time until some followers of these different faiths came up with the same tempting idea, using magic to invoke angels whenever and wherever they please.